buddy.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm a lot better than you because did you cut your own hair?
Maybe. But, I do have a hair. I have an appointment this weekend to go get it fixed. But you know what? Like, I don't hate it.
What happened?
Well, this is a thing I do all the time. My husband thinks I'm a psycho, but like, he'll come home and like I've chopped like from here to like here before, just by
Just by
myself.
yourself? Just out of boredom?
Just like I'll see a photo of like some beautiful Victoria's Secret model and be like, I could maybe look like that. No, can't. But I'll just see it and be like inspired, like, oh, I want to go short, and I'll just be like, I don't want to wait to see a hairdresser. I'll do it myself.
And so you got home after doing what? Or were you just bored at home one day and you're like, okay, I've watched this many episodes of this episode or this series on Netflix. Let me just get some scissors out and chop this off.
It's not like a thought through thing. Like Jake was like getting ready for bed in the shower. I was just brushing my teeth, and I'm like staring at myself. I'm like, I'm gonna cut bangs, and I just started going.
And we did, like, was it immediate regret or not? Because it doesn't look bad, so I don't understand.
It's not. I'm not actually regretting it. I think they're cute. I mean, it takes a little bit more like styling, but I was just kind of being like silly the other day. Like I've cut bangs myself a few different times.
Because I think the song everybody resonated with. Because I think over quarantine, everybody tried the self cut or the partner cut at one point, and it did not go as well as what you did to yourself.
Well, I took like first high school, took cosmetology in school, so I did learn how to like cut hair. So I cut Jake's hair all quarantine. I've cut my dog's hair all quarantine. Cut my own hair. So I have done it before.
Now, who got the treatment first, your dog or Jake? Because with Jake, like, hey, dog's hair looks pretty good, or was it vice versa?
It was definitely, I cut Willa's hair like so many times, and then Jake's was just getting like out of control, like not looking good. And I like would beg him like, please let me try to cut your hair. So finally one day he's like, whatever, fine. So he let me, and it turned out great. And then he like started asking me to do it.
You're like, yeah, but $20.
Yeah, seriously, I should get paid to do that.
Did you ever do any of your friends' hair?
I've cut my girlfriend's, like just trimmed the bottom so it's like all even, or just cut off the dead ends. Cut my dad's. I've cut a lot of people's hair.
Have you ever done it to yourself and you actually regretted it? Because my brother did mine before picture day and did this to my bangs.
Really? I did one, this was how many years ago? Like 4 years ago. And that's when I did like, I took off, this much, and I did like this really blunt, like bob, but that is hard to do in the back because you can't see. And so I kind of just like kept cutting, and it was uneven. So I'd have to go shorter and shorter and shorter. And finally I was just like, I've taken it too far. I need to go to the hairdresser. And I went, and my hairdresser was like, what the heck did you just do? Like your hair is like so uneven. But I don't know. I don't care. Like it's just hair. It grows back. I'm not
That's
worried about
exactly right. So is the going to the stylist this weekend part of the celebration of the secret EP release, or how are you celebrating that?
it. I don't know. Like this, I feel like I've had like so many cool things happen like during this time with like no celebration because you can't really do much. I mean, we can crack a bottle of wine at home, but we do that like every other night anyways.
That's
So
just part of quarantine
yeah.
at this point.
But I don't know. That's a good question. I actually hadn't like thought about how to celebrate it yet.
So on release day, so surprise release day is tomorrow. One, why did you want to do a surprise? Because I think it's fantastic. I think it's so much fun. And what do you do for yourself on release day? Is it stuff like this, wall to wall? You're just talking to people on Zoom, or what are you doing?
Yeah, it really is like a lot of interviews and just kind of like getting the word out there. I like the surprise thing. I mean, like obviously the biggest people do it all the time. Like Beyonce's done it a million times, and Taylor Swift. And not that I'm like even a sliver compared to them, but it's just kind of fun to be like, I don't know, like the long lead up of like, it's coming. I'm about to announce something cool tomorrow. Like the announcement's actually, I don't know. It's just like kind of like just put it out.
Well, I think the one I remember most is Eric Church a couple of years ago. Out of nowhere, I just woke up and he had a new album out, and I was like, this is the greatest day ever. How does this just happen? So the fact that you're doing that and I get to be in on the surprise makes me super happy because I'm never allowed to know surprises because I have a big mouth.
I have like a hard time keeping surprises too, so I'm with you.
Have you ever ruined somebody's surprise?
No, I haven't, because I know that like I have like potentially would not think about something, let it slip. I'm pretty like intentional, but I've had a surprise ruin that I've like been a part of.
What happened?
So this was like for Jake and my like dating anniversary, like our 6 years, something like that. I got him tickets to SNL, and I was with my bandmate, and I had told my bandmate about like, we're gonna go to SNL in New York, and I'm gonna surprise Jake, and we're doing this whole date night, and it's gonna be like this big thing that I'm surprising him with all of it. And my band guy gets in the car, and he's like, Jake, are you like so pumped for SNL? And I was like, looked at him, and I told him it was a surprise, and he looked at me, and he's like, oh, I mean, and like he felt horrible, and he like apologized like profusely after. But I was annoyed because it was like I bought flights, like all of this, like it was gonna be like an epic surprise. And
So
Jake
did we just spilled it in the car right then? You're like, well, here's what's happening.
Well, yeah, basically, like Jake's like, what, like SNL, and I mean, I basically had to just be like, okay, well, this is what we're doing.
And then did you get your bandmate back after, or we just took a little break from each other for a couple hours?
He felt so bad that like I couldn't be mad at him. Like it really, truly was an accident.
So with the Drinking Songs EP, not only are you giving us a surprise EP, but we get a new video and song kind of on socials tomorrow. It's you, right?
Yeah. So the song's called The One.
The One.
Yeah, and that's gonna be out on the new project, like the new kind of bonus track, and there'll be a lyric video with it, and just I'm really, really excited for people to hear the song. I think it's my favorite one ever.
I haven't heard it yet, but in just hearing the title, is it about finding the one? You got a big rock on your finger now. We've talked about Jake a little bit. Is it about that at all, or is it totally opposite?
No, it's opposite.
So tell me a little bit about it then.
Okay, so the hook is like, should I wreck the hook? Maybe I should. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well,
the hook is like, it ain't fun being the one before the one.
oh.
So it's more about like, being the bridesmaid and being with the person, saying, I don't want to get married. Like, I'm not ready for getting married. And then they break up with you and they marry the next person.
What is the movie about that? Do you remember the movie about that? It was like, I think it was a Dane Cook movie, which really makes me look bad that I'm a Dane Cook fan. But I think it was a guy who was always the one before the one, and people would go date him because they knew it. So they would go date him because they knew after they dated him, they would be finding the one after that, right?
Yes, I totally remember that movie. I don't know, like, I think a lot of people have been in that situation. I definitely have. And I mean, now looking back, I'm very grateful for it. But in the moment, it sucks majorly. So that's kind of what this song is about.
Well, especially with social media, because as much as we say we don't want to creep and we're not going to look, we creep and we look, and then you see all this happiness, and then you see wedding bells, and you're like, well, what? You said you didn't want to get married, and I guess it just wasn't to me.
Yeah, and that's totally okay too. Like I've been that person too. Like I've been on both sides, and I know Jake's been on both sides. Like you don't want to get married until you want to marry your person. So
speaking of your person, obviously you run the EP by Jake. Does he have a favorite?
I think The One is probably his favorite too, but he's like a sucker for like a ballad sad song, and so he's always gonna like lean that direction.
And we're currently spinning Drinkin' Songs. It's such a fun, upbeat tune. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Yeah, that also like is about a breakup. I don't know why I'm like such a breakup song person. But like I have yet to put out a happy song. But that's one is like, you have your song with your person. Like you pick a song at the beginning of the relationship or your theme song or whatever. And that song holds so much like good emotions. But what happens after you break up? Like then that song is still being played on the radio and you're still hearing it all the time. And it now creates this whole other world of like sadness. And
is there a song that's been ruined for you?
There's been plenty. Let me think of like.
I'll tell you mine while you think. Mine, "Bless the Broken Road" by Rascal Flatts.
Okay.
My very first long-term girlfriend. I would listen to that like driving in the snow to go see her, and I was like, "Oh, this is us, bless the." And now, because we broke up, I'm like, "Oh, that song," and it just makes me think of those drives, and I don't want anything to do with that song anymore.
I will say that like. So my very first like serious boyfriend, not first, second, I guess, was like the biggest Bob Dylan fan, and I became a huge Bob Dylan fan. He was Bob Dylan and Jay-Z, and kind of weird combo, but I became such a big fan of them. Like we went and saw Jay-Z live, and now it's just like when I hear them, they're not wrecked, but it does take me back. And then my next boyfriend was like a huge Green Day fan, and so now it's just like it will always be like memories of these people.
It's always associated to that, but that's what I love about music so much is you can hear a song, you can hear a band, and it takes you back to a time and a place in your life, and it's just such a connector. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's such like a memory like like it really holds memories.
It's a trigger, right?
Yeah, a trigger. Yeah.
We do a little thing on our show. It's called a one call debate. I need you to answer this one from yesterday. What would you rather do? Stay up late or get up early?
Get up early for sure. Every
Really?
morning. Yeah, I'm a big morning person. I love the morning.
Why? What do you do?
I love to like get up. Like, well, first I'll get up and like snuggle with my dog, but like intentionally, like she's so cozy in the mornings. And then I love making coffee. I love making breakfast. I love it when like the sun is just coming up and like the day has potential. I'm just like, I don't know, like I'm cheesy that way, but I feel like I can accomplish a lot in the morning. That's when like my brain is like really going.
Did that drive Jake nuts at the start of your relationship, or is he also a morning person? Because as a non-morning person, that would be awful.
No, we are opposite. So, but we're also like very independent. So like I like my 2 hours in the morning where he's still sleeping and it's cozy. He's in bed. He's like snuggled up and I'm like getting stuff done. But then I go to bed 2 hours before him. So he has his alone time at night. I have my alone time in the morning.
I think that's why you're married and you're happy, because you have those periods of space where you just can do your own thing, right?
Yeah, it's nice. Honestly, like we both talk about how we really like that, and we'll try to go to bed together too sometimes because I think that's healthy to like fall asleep together. But no, we do that a lot.
I want to get you out of here on this. We're also doing a contest right now. It's called Quick Draw. I know you only have a couple of minutes, but I'm going to say something. You shout out the first word that comes to your mind, okay?
Okay.
Name something you find in your car that starts with S.
Sunscreen?
Sure, depending on, like, you're from Medicine Hat, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm a big sunscreen person.
Name something in the grocery store that starts with R.
Ranch.
Hey, yes, but not the gluten-free stuff. That stuff stinks.
No, and not the fat-free stuff. Like, it needs to be like the regular, unhealthy.
Give me extra fat.
Yes.
A pizza topping that starts with L.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Keep thinking like lemon, but L. What are you thinking?
I was thinking lettuce, because sometimes you get like a Mexican pizza and they toss some lettuce on there.
Oh, like arugula?
Yeah, but that's
okay.
an A.
Lettuce.
You can't ask me for answers.
Okay.
New single is called Drinkin' Songs. A drink that starts with M.
Moscow Mule.
Ooh, I like that one in the copper cups.
Margarita.
And finally, let's go a term of endearment, something you would call Jake that starts with B.
Babe.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay.
I appreciate your time so much. It's always so much fun chatting with you. Thank you for the surprise album, something to get us through November and quarantine. So we just appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. Have a great day.
You too. See ya.